absolute boring episode of AEW Dynamite last night, man. And this show is completely just missable television. Match after match after match after match after match with no story whatsoever, man. I'm a big AEW fan. I know the community loves to shit on AEW. I most certainly do not. If my favorite professional wrestlers in this fucking company, don't grant she's on a hiatus, but you get the point. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show, which is your Thursday edition of LimitsCenter for your Thursday, February 5th of 2026. Or into anything, follow me on social media on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Lucas C. Allen. Also, Sage Cyrus on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Watch today's podcast on YouTube. Hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell for your post notifications and up on this channel. And always leave a comment. I think my episode for your Thursday, February 5th of 2026. And by the way, make sure you, my YouTube people out there, there's a lot of you more my Spotify people. Make sure you actually, if you're watching this video right now, you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You're less than 30 subscribers away from 100 subscribers here on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button nonetheless. I know there have been a lot of viewers on this channel, to say the least, but still, I would like to at least get 100 subscribers, hopefully, knock on wood. At least until the end of this month, to say the least. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you obviously hit the subscribe button nonetheless. Watch on Spotify, do the same thing. You can leave me a comment also in today's podcast. And also a 5-star rating, be very nice as well, to say the least. So you start with the show, man. Let's go to your AEW Dynamite, your AEW Boring Dynamite show for your February 4th, 2026 review. Be discussing that. Also some backstage news on WWE's plan for the Royal Rumble 2027. Be discussing that. Also CM Punk to ring defend WWE World Heavyweight Champion. You expect to defend that said WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Elimination Chamber 2026, which is the next PLE, and obviously for WWE. We're going to be discussing that. So, I lowered my notes here, obviously. Also, John Cena is not expected to be inducted into the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. Be discussing that. Also, another retired superstar is recently AJ Styles, so he's from WWE, obviously. Comments on putting his gloves back on despite losing the 2026 Royal Rumble. We're going to be discussing that. Also on Ricochet, the AEW National Champion. Get this, boys and girls. Says his WWE tarnished his legacy. Who does that remind you of sometimes, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not going to say the name, but you get the point, obviously. A lot of wrestlers can say that, honestly, if you think about it. We're going to be discussing that. I was going to several secret signings reportedly made by AEW to finish off this podcast. As always, thank you for watching. Lucas E. Allen 1080 on YouTube and all audio platforms of the Allen Show. On today's your Thursday edition of LimitsCenter for your Thursday, February 5th of 2026. Let's go on today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with, you guessed, your AEW Dynamite February 4th, 2026 review. And spoiler alert for you AEW sickos out there, you're not going to want to hear this review, honestly. What a freaking boring ass show, ladies and gentlemen. Other than Andrade and Kenny Omega, maybe even Ricochet and Jack Perry for a national championship, the best thing on your show is a B-. But obviously, I'll include the Andrade, El Idolo, and Kenny Omega match, also the Ricochet and Jack Perry match. The main event was fucking ridiculous. How they squashed your AEW World Champion in an Eliminator match. Oh my god, man. It's fucking unacceptable. But starting with the Don Callis family, defeat the Death Flyers to start the show. Fucking filler, boring shit. A big fat C. Ladies and gentlemen, do you fucking care about a 6-man tag on a flying fuck match? Then I fucking get it, man. This show continues to be boring in 2026. What was the start of your show supposed to set the tone later in the night? It's a television show. or a pay-per-view / premium live event for your WWE or AEW pay-per-views. You get the point. Did this do you like you do that, ladies and gentlemen? The Don Callis family and 50 billion fucking wrestlers aren't a Don Callis family? It was like just slight exaggeration. And at Death Riders, the answer is absolutely not. This did nothing for me at all. Nothing. Nothing to make me fucking care. A big fan Steve because of that, man. A trios match, who fucking cares? And a more fucking, it's even worse, honestly. Thomas Tony Storm. And Orange Cassidy defeat Jordan Oyayas, who, don't know what that fucking that is, and Team Brooks, who, I don't even fucking know who that is either. It's probably a mixed tag match. A D fucking plus. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't fucking care, even more less so after the opening 7. You get to this fucking even worse freaking filler, man. Since when is Timeless Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy a duo? Are they really thinking about introducing AEW Mixed Tag Team Championships in this company? What is the point of doing Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy as a duo here? Like, what is the fucking point then? All I can give you is an AEW World Tag Team Mixed Tag Team Division, man. Oh, motherfucking joy. I don't enough fucking billion freaking championships are just linked to AEW. Fucking believable, man. This show is something fucking else, am I right, people? I don't hate AEW. Like I've been telling you for a billion freaking times in this podcast. And a lot of different podcasts. My favorite professional wrestler works for this company, man. You don't know who that is? I don't know. Fucking tell you. You gotta be looking at my past podcasts, obviously. You fucking just go to my YouTube and look at my cover photo. You know who my fucking favorite pro wrestler is. Just to let you know. Just to let you know, obviously. This shit was fucking boring. D+. You much like care about that and this fucking shit. Love Tony Storm, like Orange Cassidy, but I don't fucking care for this shit. Who does? Who does? How can you fucking care, people? I can't. Should we move on? And what are we doing at Chris Down, the AEW Women's World Championship? It's freaking ridiculous, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing here, Tony Khan, AEW Sicko? Just letting people know about that, obviously. Should we move on? Heyman Adam Page, one half the AEW World Trio Champions, defeats Mark Davis. A B-. Solid match. Best thing up to this point, nonetheless. Doesn't mean it was great. Doesn't mean it was great, people. Doesn't mean it's great. And it's still such a banger match. Hangman Adam Page and Mark Davis. I don't fucking care. On what fucking plan do you care about Mark Davis wrestling a former AEW World Champion, bro? And Hangman Adam Page. Which, by the way, I'm not going to discuss in today's podcast. Frankly, I don't particularly care. But there's this photo linking around online of Hangman Adam Page hanging out with Marty Scurll. Or is it Marty Scurll? His name is Marty Scurll, honestly. He obviously ruined his professional wrestling career by being accused and obviously confirmed as a pedo or pedophile, obviously, or something like that. One or the other. Underage girls, stuff like that. He was doing that shit. I frankly don't like talking about that shit, honestly, but I just find it kind of hypocritical, honestly, but still. They basically got Hangman Adam Page in hot water, an AEW fan base, obviously. And prior different wrestling fans, too. That is what it is. I don't really discuss that shit on my podcast. I really fucking don't. I stay out of politics, I stay out of personal shit, you know me. I don't like discussing that shit so fucking ever. I like to discuss my takes on sports and also professional wrestling, obviously. And a dose of pop culture. It's not politics, obviously. But this gets a B-. Did you care? Because I certainly did. And apparently after this match, you had Hangman Adam Page talking about MJF and even Andrade, El Idolo, and Kenny Omega. And the winner faces Hangman at Grand Slam Australia for a number one contender, becoming an AEW World Heavyweight Champion and facing MJF for that championship at AEW Revolution. This gets a B minus. Who fucking cares? Who cares, man? I can't. Look, it's a B minus. No, it's the best thing by far in this damn show. Andrade El Idolo defeats Kenny Omega. Probably the only good thing that happened on this show times 1,000, obviously. A minus. Fucking great, man. It's great to see Andrade El Idolo booked so much better when we see him in his latest edition of WWE. Man's looking like a top freaking player already. He hasn't been in this company since, well, he came to the company in October last year. But obviously, the non-compete clause basically ruined that kind of a bit. I'll be honest, Andrade El Idolo is being booked like an A++ professional wrestler, man. Good for Andrade, bro. Great guy for Andrade. Big Andrade fan myself, honestly. And this shocked me about it. He defeat Kenny Omega. Which is great. They're probably going to do Kenny Omega versus MJF probably at Double or Nothing for AEW World Championship. And probably in that case, I like that a lot better than just Revolution, filling it out for Revolution. Honestly, I mean, it might be a hot take, people. I'd rather have Andrade beat Hangman at Grand Slam, Australia. Let's do Andrade versus MJF for the World Championship Revolution. Obviously, MJF's going to retain. Andrade will be losing that match. There's always victory and defeat, people. Always victory and defeat, man, with stuff like that. Andrade's been booked perfectly since coming back to AEW. The second time around, he's been booked perfectly, I mean, you tell me. Man's doing great shit as a professional wrestler in AEW. Great for Andrade, to say the least. Banger match, always can tell between Andrade and Kenny Omega. This match gets an A-. Well, it's more filler. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford defeat the Babes of Wrath, the reigning defending AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions. Will Nightingale, the reigning defending AEW TBS Champion, and Harley Cameron. An AEW Women's World Championship Eliminator match. C+, man. And I hate eliminator matches, man. I really fucking do. It's just basically your championship contenders match as what Vince McMahon did in like the late stages before he left the company. Creative, like what, 2022 and 2021, etc. Like that is just the most laziest fucking booking to get to a title match I've ever seen. And that's happening even more so probably in AEW, the eliminator matches. I fucking hate them. They're stupid. They're fucking ridiculously stupid. I hate them. They're so bad. They're so bad. How can anyone care about eliminator matches / championship contenders matches you're talking about WWE? On what planet do you fucking care about shit like that, people? I can't care one bit. I cannot care. C+ is your grade. Should be grateful it's not lower. And you beat your champions in the square of the ring. Like, who fucking wants to see that, man? Hey, eliminator matches, man. I just hate them. And now it's your Ricochet, the 8th reigning defending AEW National Champion, defeats Jack Perry to retain the said AEW National Championship. We're going to have some second best grade in the show, that'd be. But I like this match a lot better than the match we had previous in Jack Perry and Ricochet. I like this match a lot better, if you ask me. This is a pretty good match, if you ask me. Nothing else to know about this, though. Got news on Ricochet later on this podcast. Obviously, he took shots at WWE. How he got treated in that company. But still, man, this gets a B. A very fine match, if you ask me. Nothing better, nothing great, nothing just bad. It's bright B, if you ask me, to say the least. Alright, moving on to your fucking ridiculous booking here. Brody King defeats MJF, the reigning defending AEW World Champion, in a main event in a fucking 3-minute squash match, and a main event in an AEW World Championship Eliminator match. And the cherry on top of that, with this bullshit Sunday, it's a fucking Eliminator match. D fucking plus. Tied with Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy in a mixed tag match that nobody gave a flying fuck about. What the fuck are we doing, bro? What are we seriously fucking doing? Granted, MJF is basically bulletproof at this rate. I understand that. That's not my issue with this. My issues with this is why he had to bring the AEW World Champion getting his ass beat by fucking Brody King. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? What are we doing? What is this? What is this booking of the biggest title in your fucking company? The billion titles you got in this company, Tony Khan. You book your world championship and your world champion in a fucking 3-minute losing squash match. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Granted, and probably MJF's obviously going to win back at Grand Slam Australia. That's not my issue. That is not my issue. My issue is wait. Book your biggest title of your championships. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship and your champion, just like in a 3-minute squash match, just like that. As I snap my finger. What the fuck are we doing, bro? What was the point of this? You can't just build, like, I don't know, promos where MJF is best utilized at on his mic work ability? No, you have this man lose in a 3-minute squash match to Brody King, of all people, who's ultimately going to lose at Grand Slam Australia. How the fuck does that make any sense? How the fuck does that make any sense, man? This shit sucked. This show is fucking boring. I don't know what to fucking tell you, people. I'm not an AEW hater, man. Like I've been telling you a billion people times. My favorite professional wrestler is in this company. Right now, she's not on television right now, but you get the point. Mr. fucking Deary Mercedes is my name. But still, bro, this show is fucking fault. This show sucked. Let's just put it this way. This show fucking sucked. This show just fucking sucked. It just sucked, man. As your show grade for AEW Dynamite, February 4th of 2026 is a C+ in general. Not a fun show whatsoever from Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling and for AEW Dynamite for his past Wednesday night, to say the least. That is your AEW Dynamite February 4th, 2026 review on this podcast. Some wrestling news. Backstage news on WWE's plan for Royal Rumble 2027. The WWE Royal Rumble could be coming back to the United States in 2027 with the first Royal Rumble premium live event in Saudi Arabia on January 31st of 2026, excuse me. As part of their deal to the country, however, it looks like the event is heading back to the United States next year. According to WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select, the general chatter backstage at the Royal Rumble was 2026, obviously, was that the show was likely to return to the United States in a domestic stadium for 2027. But probably maybe an indoor stadium. I don't think it'd be like, for example, Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe like Mercedes-Benz Stadium in order to for the Atlanta Falcons play. I don't think it'd be an NFL stadium. Maybe like, I don't know, like a ballpark, maybe like a mini ballpark, like kind of like a stadium. We shall wait and find what that to say, at least when that application will be. But obviously, basically a full calendar year, we can wait until the 2027 Royal Rumble will take place. Also, it could be 2 nights to be first ever 2-night Royal Rumble, if you ask me. That could definitely be the case. Or you have 2 nights for WrestleMania and SummerSlam, obviously, to start last year with SummerSlam for 2025. And this year in 2026, US Bank Stadium, the Minnesota Vikings. Remains to be seen what we got there, to say the least, for that. And there's probably 1 night, honestly, for Royal Rumble 2027. Maybe next year in 2028, I can definitely see it being 2 nights. We ain't found them to say. Keep updated the Royal Rumble looks like in 2027 to say, at least moving forward. Not even just that, kick off WrestleMania 43 season that year. Obviously, where Saudi Arabia will be hosting WrestleMania 43, obviously. Sadly, like I've been saying last year in the podcast of 2025. Moving on to CM Punk, the reigning defending WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Expected to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship at the Elimination Chamber, obviously in his hometown, Chicago, Illinois. CM Punk may have a roadblock on his way to the main event of WrestleMania 42. While Punk is currently scheduled to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Roman Reigns in Las Vegas, Nevada for WrestleMania 42, obviously. Reports suggest that he will get through a familiar opponent in his hometown first. According to WrestleVotes Radio and Fightful Select, as of February 2nd, one proposed an idea for Elimination Chamber features CM Punk defend his World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor, also a rematch in Dublin, Ireland, Balor's hometown. The event is scheduled to take place in Chicago, Punk's hometown, obviously, making his participation a priority for the company. Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp adds that the plan has been long for Punk to compete at the event in some capacity, given the location. One specific creative direction heard that Sapp involves Punk accepting the rematch on his turf after previously competing in Europe, which was closer to Balor's hometown, obviously. It was Europe. I thought it was honestly double in Ireland, honestly. So waiting to find out then the series, probably going to get CM Punk and Finn Balor for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for Elimination Chamber in Chicago, Illinois. I don't mind that whatsoever, but in the meantime, with the interim stuff is sales for Punk and Valley gets to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42 and probably Night 2 main event at WrestleMania 42. Keep updated going forward. If you ask me, to CM Punk is getting closer and closer to WrestleMania 42, if you ask me. And on to the must anticipate match between CM Punk and Roman Reigns for said WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Keep updated on that going forward, if you ask me. Moving on, John Cena is not expected to be inducted in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. John Cena is not expected to be inducted in the 2026 WWE Hall of Fame this year, despite ending his in-ring career on December 13th of 2025 at Saturday Night's main event. Following his retirement match, which concluded their 23-year run with the company, many believe that the 17-time world champion will be the marquee for class of 2026. According to WrestleVault's Radio and Fightful Select, Cena is not currently planned for this year's ceremony. Instead, the report states that Stephanie McMahon is expected to be the headliner for the class. McMahon recently returned to the public eye with her podcast, What's Your Story? And has been a fixture in the company for decades. In addition to the traditional inductees, the report indicates that WWE's plans are on immortal moments induction for this year's ceremony. This will likely honor a specific match, segment, or event in wrestling history, distinct for an individual or team induction. I don't mind seeing not being inducted this year, honestly. It might be a hot take to some people. Like, there's plenty of time for Cena to get inducted, but probably hope it's not WrestleMania 43, obviously not, like, for 2027. Maybe, like, 2028 can see him get inducted, probably. Like, it'd probably be cool if you induct him in 2026, but I doubt that WWE never does that, to say at least. No matter what your name is, John Cena, I don't think Hulk Hogan ever got this whatsoever. Don't think he got it all. And honestly, I don't mind John Cena being not inducted this year. Probably get at least a little bit of time, maybe in 2028. Probably not even getting like 2027 inductee ceremony. I doubt you honestly can get the cut. That actually takes place in Saudi Arabia, man. So waiting to find out then the series when John Cena Nebula gets inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. You know he's going to get inducted. Right? He's the biggest. He has 17 world championships, the most in WWE history for world championships. Probably biggest in all the professional wrestling history, honestly. So keep you updated when John Cena Nebula gets inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. If you ask me what year it takes place, to say at least. Moving on to AJ Styles, who's also retired in 2026 at the Royal Rumble, obviously in Saudi Arabia, at least for WWE in great career. AJ Styles comments on putting his gloves back on despite losing at the 2026 WWE Royal Rumble. Given that AJ Styles lost to Gunther at the WWE Royal Rumble in 2026, in a match where Styles put his career on the line, no less, the easy conclusion to reach is that Styles' wrestling career is over, and yet Styles' actions following the match, which saw him tease leaving his gloves in the ring, when he put them back on, has instead left many believing that Styles could continue on outside of the WWE umbrella. It's a mystery that deepened in Thursday morning when Styles appeared on What's Your Story with Stephanie McMahon and was asked about if he didn't leave his gloves in the ring, and if one is to believe he's not entirely sure why he didn't leave them either. I don't know, Styles said. Never say never, right? That's the saying. And I know I think everybody's allowed once to come out of retirement, which I obviously disagree with that one, honestly. Just look at Ric Flair. He came out of retirement 20 billion fucking times, AJ. Let's just be real there. I'm not saying that I'll do it anytime soon. I'm just saying, well, I mean, if my son wrestles, the opportunity to tag with him once, you never know. So there will be a time when the gloves never go back on. And it may be now, but we'll see, end quote. Styles went on to reveal that he was trained for his second oldest son in wrestling and believes that once he begins to start his career properly, Styles' oldest son or son, excuse me, who then followed his brother's footsteps. He also confessed that while his youngest son appears to show no interest in wrestling or any sports related, his daughter has and believes the door is open for her to enter the wrestling business and someday as well. Remains to be seen if that's the case, man. I can see Styles honestly appear and make me like a one-off back in WWE. But honestly, I don't think his wrestling his full-time career is done. Remains to be seen where he goes to AEW and finishes off his full-time wrestling career there. Remains to be seen then. I don't think Styles is done yet. I really don't. This is when we got it's the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. Makes me think that's not the last match we're going to ever see AJ Styles wrestle. That's just probably like a fake retirement, at least it did be a retirement if you ask me. Keep updating when Styles and probably when hopefully comes back. I don't think he should be retiring in Saudi Arabia nonetheless. Just sounds ridiculous if you ask me, coming from out of my mouth, honestly, but still. Keep updating when AJ Styles does in post-wrestling. Maybe he returns from wrestling eventually sooner or later. Keep updating him going forward if you ask me. Moving on to this report, man. Ricochet, the AEW National Champion, discussing a Dynamite review. Today's podcast. Says WWE tarnished his legacy. Oh joy, oh joy. Ricochet, the reigning defending AEW National Champion, like I just said, finally returned to his true form after a stint in WWE that he claims damaged his wrestling legacy. Ricochet has had a great career span in the independent scene, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Lucha Underground, and now more recently in AEW All Elite Wrestling. Despite holding gold in every organization he has worked for, including WWE, Ricochet has not looked back fondly on his time with the sports entertainment giant company, WWE obviously. Ricochet recently responded to a post on social media, which I don't know why, but he does it in character. It showed a clip of him wrestling AJ Styles in WWE. He was quick to distance himself from that era of his career, saying that the performer in the clip was unrecognizable compared to who he is today. Obviously known as Ricochet, he's not talking about AJ Styles, obviously. That's not me, they're on quotes. That was a watered-down, different universe version of me, two completely different people. Obviously, in character. Probably more likely personal stuff still at the same time, too. During an interview with the Mark Hoke show, that's how you say that, Ricochet would go on to state that how he views his current AEW run compared to a run he had in WWE. He says, and I quote, "That's how I put Ricochet's wrestling career. It's like that 5 years was being blipped away to a different universe. It just wasn't what I was doing. It wasn't me. And coming back to AEW and finding that love is like when Tony Stark finally defeated Thanos and all those people came back. That's kind of how I feel like Ricochet finally came back to what he was doing. That 5 years really tarnished Ricochet's wrestling legacy," end quote. He has every right to think that, honestly. Granted, he had his moments in WWE, he had his championship, sure, he won the Intercontinental Championship, helped me set up Gunther's legendary Intercontinental Championship run. He won the United States Championship, even a couple of times, just once, honestly, off the top of my head. Obviously, in NXT, he was North American Champion at one point. Basically, held all the three mid-card titles, North American Championship at NXT, managed United States Championship and Intercontinental Championship, too. So he had his moments in the WWE. Was it perfect? Fuck no, obviously. I look at that second, we had Drew McIntyre, where he basically has been prepping promos, well, after Robbie had. And Drew McIntyre just simply goes, "Just shut up." Or just shut up, man. Like, that was just something else with McIntyre. But still, man, Ricochet is very rare to see this. Like, what did Vince McMahon, even Triple H, in the last stages of his, when he left WWE, in like 2024, obviously, before he appeared at All In Texas, or All In London, I believe, that year, 2024. It was just booking, masterclass of freaking destroying a guy like Ricochet. Am I the biggest fan of Ricochet? Not really in WWE. I mean, he's a talented pro wrestler, don't get me wrong. But he definitely had his ceiling in that company. And AEW fits like a fucking glove, especially the character he's doing right now, especially on social media, man. He's doing great work as a heel to say at least. Vicariously, there's an AEW National Championship for him to hold. No, not really, obviously, but still. He has every right to think about this, honestly. He has every right to say this, honestly. The way he was treated in WWE. Granted, he was never like the greatest microphone guy in the company. No shit. But still, that's what my take on this, to say at least. And always, I'll keep you updated on Ricochet going forward, as you know, he's the AEW National Champion right now, if you ask me, obviously. And finally, you're on for your LimitsCenter podcast, your Wednesday for your Thursday, February 5th of 2026. We on YouTube and all audio platforms. You can see on the show. YouTube, obviously, you can see on 1018. Several secret signs reportedly made by AEW. AEW has made a splash over the last few months. I don't know about splashes, but whatever. Acquiring a mix of international stars and independent standouts. Notable additions including the return of Andrade El Idolo, the Rascals, Alex Price, Jordan Oliver, Maya World, Hying, I think that's how you said Hying, Zeta Steel, and now New Japan Pro Wrestling standout Clark Connors. Additionally, it was learned that Heavy Vic, I don't know what the fuck that is whatsoever, was signed to in the fall of 2025. Oh my god, man. And further depth to the roster. More unnecessary depth to the roster, man. Who the fuck knows this dude? I don't know pronounce his name right. I didn't even know he was signed until now. Whatever, bro. Despite the influx of talent, reports indicate that the company is far from finished. Yeah, no shit. He's owned by a fucking billionaire, and Tony Khan ain't gonna let that go out of business. Fightful has told that AEW is still expand its roster and making signings, with 60 specific additions to be made. So women's roster fairly soon. I like hearing that kind of, honestly, but still, it comes on a booking with Tony Khan. While the exact names remain unconfirmed, the outlet reports that there are a number of talents that are already signed but have not yet been made public. Naturally, this recruitment drive has led many fans to question if this signals an increase of television time or a new addition to a new programming, which I hope the God never does not fucking happen. Let's end up like Rampage, and soon enough, Collision's going to end up, hopefully not, but still. However, Fightful reports that this is not necessarily the case, thank God, obviously. Instead, the move is described as an effort to freshen up the roster. Like, you need to fucking do that, though. They don't need to do that whatsoever. Just worry about the booking you got for your wrestlers right now on your roster, Tony Khan. You don't need to sign more talent, so you don't even, like, who the fuck? I never heard of Clark Connors or heard to be Vic, man, I don't know the fucking know if it's female or male. I honestly don't even fucking know. God knows at this rate, man. Who the fuck cares? Well, you don't need to freshen up the roster, man. You need to book these people much better, Tony Khan, but you're better than Vince McMahon, even Triple H to a point recently. That's not saying much, though. That is not saying much whatsoever, man. Wait and find out when more this develops and also more competitors show up to AEW. Keep updating the podcast on LimitsCenter, obviously, to say at least. And thank you all for watching LimitsCenter podcast for your Thursday, February 5th of 2026. On your YouTube, you can see on TV. All audio platforms, you can see on show. Also, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. I've officially made a blog account. Just upload my blog today on February 5th of 2026. Because in all your latest wrestling news, I'm mostly reporting most of them on the podcast yesterday. Except for the Ricochet tarnished in his wrestling career, obviously, in WWE. I discussed that on the blog today before I discussed anything on the podcast today, obviously. People, leave a link in my description here on YouTube to say at least. But until next time, and trust me, be here next time, every penis, I am out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the absolute least. Trust me, I love you all big time. So also subscribe to this channel, obviously. I'm now 29 subscribers away from 100 subscribers here on YouTube. Until PM, peace and everybody, I'm out. So love you all big time, to say at least, man. So watch my recording, to say at least.